What's going on? What's up? What's going on? Ryan Loede here, coming to you live from sunny Isles Beach, Miami, Florida. Hope everyone's just having an absolutely spectacular day. Everyone's starting off the week with a lot of great momentum, hitting their goals and targets, moving forward, and showing up every single day, taking the right actions, and being consistent and disciplined, right? But hey, before I go any further, if you don't know me, take full responsibility. My name is Ryan Loede, building a 9-figure insurance agency and helping everyday Americans create a multiple 6-figure residual income within their first year. Here at LC Financial Group, we're growing, we're hiring, and we're expanding in all 50 states. We got commission-based opportunities available. First year commissions north of 6 figures. By year 2, you're going to have a 6 to multiple 6-figure residual income. What does that mean? That means $10,000 to $20,000 coming in every single month like clockwork, whether you're working or not. We also have salary-based positions in Cleveland as well as Miami and San Francisco area with the ability to make up to $2,000 every single week your first year. By year 5, north of $200,000 salary. So if you want to learn more about what partnering with us here at LC Financial Group would look like, DM me, comment below, or reach out to any of our partners here at LC Financial Group, or send an email to careers, that's careers with an S, at teamlcfg.com, careers at teamlcfg.com. We're talking about distractions, right? We're talking about distractions. I'm not sure if you guys can hear outside of my balcony here. They're having a great time. They're having a blast. I'm here on the beach, and they're always having a great time. They're always playing music, and it could be quite of a distraction, right? Even just living on the beach, seeing all these people relaxing all the time, it can be a distraction. Now we have to learn how to limit distractions. We have to learn how to ultimately either remove distractions or limit those distractions and figure out what could be a distraction in our life, right? Whether it's Instagram, right? Because a lot of times, hey, even me personally, I get distracted when I go on Instagram. Sometimes I get a little bit of scrolly on Instagram. Next thing I know, I'm looking at all these things, all these shiny objects, all these people portraying their success and how easy it is. The next thing I know, I'm distracted, right? So we have to learn how to limit and remove the noise and the distractions in our life, because it's going to be one of the biggest roadblocks to creating the success we desire. So we have to remove the distractions, and we have to limit the distractions as best as we possibly could, right? So what are some of the distractions that you have in your life? I want you to get it out, a pen and a piece of paper. I want you to write down some of the distractions that you have in your life currently right now. What might be holding you back from achieving your goals and targets? What might be distracting you and taking your attention and your intention away from what you need to be focusing on, right? Because that's ultimately what happens. When we have distractions, they lower and diminish our attention and intention towards where we're moving towards our goals and targets, towards what we need to accomplish on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, right? So being able to ultimately remove, identify, and figure out what might be a distraction in our life, whether we think it is or not, right? Because sometimes there's some things in our life that we don't think it's a distraction. However, one trick that I personally use in my life, I remove something for maybe a day, 2 days, 3 days, and I'll see like, oh man, like, is anything different from me removing it? Or hey, maybe things have gotten better since I removed it or limited it, right? Or maybe things have gotten worse, right? So that's a quick little a hack that I use personally. I've seen a lot of other highly successful individuals use this as well. They remove something from their life, or they limit something from their life for a day, 2 days, or 3 days, and they see, hey, did things get worse or did things get better, right? And that's a good way of determining whether something is a distraction in your life or not. If you're on the borderline of like, is this a distraction in my life or is it not a distraction? So we're going to talk about 5 steps to limit distractions. I hope this finds you well. Hope this helps you out. Hope you can execute and apply this information in your life, because I know, hey, the world is very distracting. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of shiny objects out there. And it's very, very, very easy to get caught up in the distractions. And this is why it's ultimately so important to be disciplined and to be consistent and to have your head on right. Because, man, you could get sucked into distractions. I could easily get sucked in, full transparency, when I first moved here, man, I was getting sucked into this beach. Like, I was getting, like, literally all my attention and my intention was going to this beach. Right, I was going out there laying on the lounge chairs. I was spending my time. I was getting into stagnant mode. I was getting a little comfortable. I was getting a little complacent. However, like, you got to be able to, identify these distractions. You got to be able to limit or remove them. But hey, before we go any further, let's define distraction. So on Google here, distraction, a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else, right? So our goals and targets, if we want to achieve them, they require our full attention. Where we're going in life, the success we desire to achieve, that financial freedom, the wealth, the indestructible wealth, it deserves our full attention and it requires our full attention. So those things that are most important to us in our life, the purposes, the reasons, and the whys that we have in life, they require our full attention, and it is very necessary to limit or remove the distractions. And then here, what are some synonyms of distraction? What are some similar words, right, for distractions? Aberration, complication, confusion, disturbance, diversion, interference, interruption, or abstraction, right? When we have a distraction in our life, we're interrupted with what our full attention should be on. When we have a distraction in our life, we are getting more confused, right? Because we're like, man, what is this? Where is this coming from? Why is this hitting my life? Like, why is this distraction coming into my life right now, right? And it causes complication, right? Distraction, a synonym for distraction is complication. When you're getting distracted, reaching your goals and targets, hitting your tasks and objectives, doing the things that you know you should be doing and that you need to be doing, it becomes a bit more complicated, right? You get distracted very easily from shiny object syndrome, like cars, houses, watches, clothes, whatever it might be. Hey, it's going to be more complicated to achieve the success you desire. So you've got to have that ability to stay laser focused and that ability to keep your attention on the right things, right? Because whatever we desire to create in our life, it requires our full attention, right? So let's move forward. 5 steps to limit distractions. I hope everyone's doing well. Distractions, they always come in our life. They're bound to come whether we like it or not. It's just how well we limit them and how well we control the distractions, remove the distractions, identify the distractions, and how well of our awareness and perception we are of the distractions that we have in our life. So number 1 step to limit distractions is to have a daily battle plan, a DBP, a daily battle plan. You got to act like you're going to battle every single day, and you have to know what those tasks are, what those objectives are, and what your target is, that short-term target is for the day that's ahead of you. The more that you have your day planned out, the more that you're going to be able to limit distractions and not get pulled away from what you know you should be doing, right? I mean, it's happened to me many times, hundreds, thousands of times. I don't have a daily battle plan. Next thing I know, I'm getting very distracted, and my full attention gets pulled away from what I know I should be giving attention to. And now I start to give attention to something else that does not deserve my attention, right? What deserves our attention? Our goals, our targets, the success we desire to achieve, our family, right? Our career, building our business if you're building a business, right? So having a daily battle plan will help you limit distractions. What is a daily battle plan? Like I said, hey, it's like you're a military operator, you're a military person, and you're going into battle every single day. Like, here's what I need to accomplish. Here are the little time blocks that I have throughout my day. and boom, like you're going from one activity to another. Like you're so laser focused, your attention is on what needs to be accomplished every single day. That's going to help you limit distractions. That's ultimately going to help you have your intention, very important, because what we give our intention to is what's going to grow. Having your intention in the right place, right? And you got to have control over your daily battle plan. So number one is to have a daily battle plan. Number two is to write down your goals and targets. Something I'm a big advocate of. Big advocate of writing down your goals and targets every single day. Why is this important? Because when you're writing down your goals and targets, right when you wake up, right before you go to sleep, what are you going to be thinking about? You're going to be thinking about your goals and targets. So when potential distractions come about on a daily basis or a weekly, monthly basis, hey, you know how important your goals and targets are. Your attention and your focus is on your goals and targets. So what happens? Like that distraction that tries to bombard you in your life, it's like, hey, you don't have time for it. Like you literally have like a red flag indicator in your mind of like, oh, red flag, like this distraction that's coming into your life. You're like, man, that's a red flag. I gotta like push it away, push it to the side. I gotta run away from it. Don't give it any attention. Don't give it any energy or any of your time, because the moment that you start to divert some of your energy, time, or attention towards a distraction is the moment that that distraction starts to grow, right? Because what we put our attention on is what's going to grow. So you have a distraction that's coming in your life. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a thing, maybe it's a place, maybe it's something you're seeing, right? You're scrolling on Instagram, you're looking on Facebook, you're like, oh wow, this looks cool. Next thing you know, 20, 30 minutes goes by, you're like, holy smokes, like, why did I just spend so much time on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok looking at these things that are not going to help me move towards my goals and targets, right? When a distraction comes into your life, you have to have that red flag, like, oh, boom, red flag indicator. And also you got to understand, you got to have clarity on, hey, whatever you give your attention to is what's going to grow. So if you start to give any attention to a distraction or a potential distraction, that distraction is going to start to grow. The next thing we know, it's going to grow bigger than what our attention should be on. Our goals and targets, those tasks and objectives that we're moving towards on a daily basis. So having your goals and targets written down every single day is going to help you limit distractions, because when you write it down, you're crystallizing your thought, and now you're thinking about it even more. So when distractions come, you're like, or when something comes in your life, you don't even know if it's a distraction yet. You're like, does this help me move towards my goals and targets, right? Does this help me move towards the success I desire to create? Does this help me move towards that end product, that valuable final product, the end phenomenon on the other side? Does this help me get where I want to go, right? So sometimes you're not even aware, right? And that's number 3, is having awareness. Having awareness on like, what is a distraction, what's not a distraction, what is a potential distraction. Because sometimes, as I was saying, you don't even know if something is a distraction. You could be like, wow, that doesn't seem like a distraction. Next thing you know, like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, a week goes by, and like your graphs are going down, your stats are going down, your statistics, your numbers, your results, the outcomes, your focus is like all skewed. It's because of like that new thing that entered into your realm of the universe that you have in your life, that universe of your life. So sometimes we don't even know if something is a distraction yet. And this it's going to take a lot of time to build that muscle of like knowing like, okay, that's a distraction. I don't have time for it. I don't have energy, and I don't have any of my focus to give towards it. You know, it's going to take a little bit of time to build that muscle of actually knowing and determining within a split second, like, oh, that's a distraction, right? And you know, sometimes it might be hard to cut those distractions. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be someone in your business, an associate, employee in your business, right? It could be something that you love to do. Man, I love to play basketball, but sometimes if I play basketball too much, it starts to become a distraction because I'm playing for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Next thing I know, like half of my day is gone, right? So you have to limit those distractions. And you have to be aware of like, what is a distraction, what's not a distraction. You have to be aware of like, when a potential distraction comes in your life, you have to have that very, very high ability to be aware of like, oh, that's a distraction. I can't devote any time towards it, no energy, and no attention towards it. So being aware, step number 3. So we're talking about, folks, we're talking about 5 steps to limit distractions. I know all you guys have distractions in your life. I have distractions. Even the most highly successful individuals have distractions in their life. They have a specific way of handling distractions and limiting and removing distractions, right? And then number 4 is to identify. So identify what is a distraction, right? So let's go back to this definition here. Let's make sure that we have this completely cleared here, because the definitions are huge. We got to understand words to understand subjects. Distraction, a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. Right? Synonyms: complication, confusion, disturbance, diversion, interference. You're getting interfered by this distraction, right? Interference. It's like coming into your life and you're like, boom, like you don't even know what's going on. So you have to identify and remove. So what we've been talking about this whole time is, you know, it ties into the awareness factor, but you have to be aware of what is a distraction. You have to be aware of like what your potential distractions that you currently have in your life, right? Because we all have distractions that are currently in our life. Now we have to be so highly aware of like, what are the distractions that are currently in my life right now that I have to limit or remove, right? And then step number 4 is to identify and remove. You have to identify and remove the distractions that are currently in your life. You have to identify what distractions are, right? So it ties into everything we've been talking about. Have a daily battle plan. What are you doing on a daily basis that helps you limit distractions? Number 2, write your goals and targets down every single day. When you have your focus on your goals and targets, you're going to be more, number 3, you're going to be more aware of what a distraction is. And then number 4, you're going to be able to identify and remove those distractions. You're going to be able to be like, nope, I don't have time for it, I don't have attention for it, and I don't have energy for it. Because next thing you know, you're getting robbed of your energy, right? You got to protect your energy. We protect our phones, we protect our cars, we protect the clothes that we have, but do we protect our energy? Do we protect what we give attention to and what we focus on, right? That should be of our utmost priority, not our phones, putting a passcode on our phones, putting a passcode on our computer, you know, locking our house up, right? Obviously those things are important, but what's more important is protecting our energy. Where our energy goes is what is going to flow. So what we put energy towards is what's going to, you know, come to fruition and what is actually going to happen in your life. So if you're giving energy to a distraction, it's going to grow. And that distraction is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger unless, like I said, unless you remove the distraction. You have to remove the distraction. So number 4 is identify and remove the distraction. And then number 5 is, hey, what do you say no to? What do you say no to? Number 5 of the 5 steps to limit distractions is saying no to things. What do you say no to? Are you saying no to things like, hey, it might be some hard things like I was talking about earlier. Family members, friends, associates, work associates, strangers that you meet. You know, maybe you're going to, you know, the grocery store and like, man, this person comes up to you and they're like trying to distract you from getting your groceries, right? Whatever it might be. You got to learn how to say no to things. And it might be some tough things that you have to say no to. Like I was talking about earlier, like, man, I love to play basketball. But sometimes I got to say no to playing basketball because it almost turns into a distraction sometimes, right? Maybe it's talking to someone, maybe someone you're fond about, maybe someone you just met and you're like, man, like, I gotta say no. I gotta say no. Like, what do you have to say no to is very, very important. Saying no to things is one of the toughest things that many individuals have, and a very hard thing that many individuals have to execute on, right? It's simple, but it's hard to execute on, right? So most of the simple things in life are very, very difficult for individuals to execute on. So being able to say no to things is very, very, very important. So, hey guys, hope this found you well. Ryan Loede here, coming to you live from Sunny Isles Beach, Miami, Florida. 5 steps to limit distractions. Have a DBP. What is a DBP? That's a daily battle plan. You're going into battle every single day. You're going to war, and you're fighting for your life. You're fighting for the success you desire. You're fighting for financial freedom, and you're fighting to create the wealth that you desire to have. And you got to have that daily battle plan of tasks and objectives so you limit the distractions in your life. Number 2, you've got to write down your goals and targets every single day. On paper. Yes, I mean, it's better than not doing anything if you just write them in your phone or even think about them. But man, go that level deep of writing it down on paper. Because what you're thinking about needs to be crystallized by writing it down. And when you write it down, it's ingraining it in your mind. And the more that you think about your goals and targets, the more you're going to be able to, number 3, like I said, be aware of what distraction might be coming in your life. You're going to be aware of potential distractions that you currently have in your life that you don't even know are distractions. You've been letting it flow so long. You've been giving so much energy to a potential distraction that's in your life right now for so long that it's normal to you. It doesn't even feel like a distraction. And then number 4, you have to identify and remove. You have to identify when things, places, or people are coming into your life, whether they're a distraction or not. Whether they are a distraction or not, and you have to remove it. And then number 5, you have to say no. You have to figure out how to say no. Maybe say no in a good way, right? You don't just slam it on people. Like, if you're like me, I'm straight, I'm very direct. I'll just be like, no. I won't even respond. I won't give any attention or energy to it. But saying no to things is very, very important. It's going to help you limit distractions. So, guys, take this, use this, execute on it in your life. Because, hey, distractions are very, 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 very just like destructive to achieving our goals and targets, getting to where we want to be in life, right? Like I was talking about earlier, like right out here, I got the beach, I got the water, I see everyone relaxing, I see everyone lounging back, I got the music playing out there, the relaxing music, because it's got that beach vibe, that resort vibe, right? It feels like I'm living on a resort because I pretty much am. Sunny Isles Beach here, it's like a resort, but man, I got to be able to limit that distraction and keep my full attention on things that deserve my full attention. So keep your full attention on what deserves it. Give your energy to things that deserve it, and protect your energy, protect your attention, and protect your focus. Let's go. Let's have a great day. Let's have a great rest of your day. Talk to you guys soon.